Today we are working on DIY Farmhouse 4th of July home decor signs. Basically it's one design, 3 different signs. Hi, my name is Linda. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I post all sorts of DIY and craft related videos. You might want to go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on a future video from me. We are starting off with sign number 1, so let's get started. I'll be using this United States shaped wood sign that I picked up at Tuesday morning last year for $4.99. And I'm going to be using Apple Barrel Barn Red paint, this Delta Magnolia White paint, and I made this shade of blue mixing 3 paint colors using Admiral Blue and Black in the Apple Barrel from Walmart, and then this Tide Pool Blue from Delta. These are the same shades that I used in my last July 4th projects that I shared with you, and I'll be sure to link that video for you in case you missed it. These Dollar Tree signs have these great metal stars on them, so I'm going to be using 2 of the larger metal stars and then 1 small metal star for this project. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off, I believe is about 5 inches on the left hand side, and I'm just be painting it in this shade of blue. Now of course you can use any shade of blue or red or white if you want. The Magnolia White I chose is kind of a softer white, but you can choose any shade that you want. It suits your taste, of course. And then I'm using this dauber and I'm pouncing it up and down with the Magnolia White paint. And I do about 2 or 3 coats. I heat set it in between, and then when it's all done, it gives this great kind of texture to the metal stars. Now if you don't have this shaped piece, of course, I think it would be super cute if you use this USA sign from Dollar Tree. It's a tag shape. You can do the same decor on it and it would look super cute. So I'm using my frog tape here. I'm going to turn this sign to the side and I'm going to tape off because I'm going to start working on my red and white stripes. Take me a minute. I'm going to use a piece of tape in between. This tape is 1 inch wide, and I'm going to use the piece of tape in between so that I can get the nice straight lines with my tape. Just helps me to know how far apart to put the tape. And then once I get all my tape on, then I'll start painting with the first color. I thought this sign was so cute when I saw it at Tuesday morning last year. Wasn't sure what I'm going to do with it, but I just had to pick it up. The tape on here, just about done taping. This tape process and everything will pretty much be doing it on the next project as well. So once it's all taped, I'm going in, I will do 2 coats of this Magnolia White in the untaped sections, and then once that's dry, I'll go ahead and remove the tape and then I will re-tape it. I'll show you that here in just a minute. All nice and dry. Take off my tape. Got some nice lines going on right now. And I'm going to take some green tape again and I'm going to tape right over where I just painted in white. I love this green frog tape. I get it at Walmart. It's a lot stickier than just the blue painter's tape, and so I get a little bit crisper lines with it. A little more expensive, but I think for me it's worth it. So in the unpainted sections, here's where I'm going to come in with the red. Again, 2 coats here. This is my favorite sign out of all the ones that we're doing today. Even though they're all basically kind of the same design, this is my favorite one, and I think maybe it's because of the shape. Nice crisp lines here. So I'm going to bring it in and sand it. I'll sand a little bit on camera here first, but then I end up taking it outside and using my electric sander to get a lot more distressed, as I want this to look nice and worn and farmhouse. So here's what it looks like taking it out with my sander. And now I'm going to be doing some stenciling here. And the stencil says, "God shed his grace on thee." I'm coming in with a pounce brush and black paint stenciling it, and I'll do 2 coats. Now, if you don't have a electronic cutter machine, I will have a free printable of this quote as well as the next quote for the next sign that I've designed in my Cricut design space, and you can simply print that out, resize the size you want. You can use like some carbon paper and you can trace over it, and then you can use like a paint and a paintbrush and paint it, or you know, like a paint pen or something like that, and you can get the same quote if you like. So hope you guys enjoy that for you. I don't know how to make SVG files yet. I'm working on it, so I apologize, but I've got the next best option. So I'm going to go ahead, it's all dry, and I'm going to pull off this stencil material here, which basically I'm using Arteza transfer tape as my stencil material. In my last video I showed that, and it works so wonderful because of the quality of this transfer material and its vinyl-like quality. It's the best I've ever seen for doing stencils, so I'll make sure I link that down below for you. I'm just weeding out all the little pieces here. It looks wonderful, but it's too pretty. So we'll fix that in a minute. I'm going to sand these stars a little bit to make them look a little bit rustic to go with the sign. Not too much because it's just metal underneath, and I really kind of like the quality of the white texture on these stars. Get them in the order I want so I can get them glued on. Takes me just a minute here. And once those are on, of course, here we go into sanding paper. It's 80 grit on my sanding block, and I'm just going to distress this up. I'm using this white twine I got from Walmart, and I'm just going to wrap it around about 3 times or so and tie a little bow. And I'm doing this just to kind of hide the line between where the blue is and then the red and white stripes start, and also, of course, to add a little bit of cuteness to the project, give it that little bit of a farmhouse feel. And once I get the bow tied, this project is complete. I think it turned out super cute. I love it. Like I said, it is my favorite out of all 3 projects. Let's move on to sign number 2. So for this sign, I have a piece of this salvaged wood board I got from a pallet, and then I've got 2 of these wood star shapes. They come in a package. I can't remember how many's in the package, 6 I think, 10 from Walmart, and using my Beacon Fabri-Tac glue here and gluing 2 of the stars together so we have a nice thick star. And I'll be doing the same process as the last sign. Just kind of putting my star here to see how far I want to mark. I believe I marked over about 5 inches or so. We'll be painting that star a little bit later with that magnolia white. And then I'm going to use my blue paint just like the last project, and I will be painting along this left side top and around the sides. I do paint the back in the red just to have the back all finished off, because I will be selling this sign at a craft show, but you know, I don't show you how I paint the back. And then I'm taking my pouncy brush again, just like on the first sign, and dipping it into the paint and then pouncing it on, heat setting it with my tool to give it some nice great texture. And then I'll be taping off this right side here, just like on the last one. Not a lot of room here on this sign, so I kind of finagled the tape pieces a little bit. I can't really go 1 inch apart, which is the width of the tape, so I think I end up about ½ inch apart. And then once I do that, of course, I paint 2 coats, starting out 2 coats of white in the untaped area. And then once that's dry, because I kind of skip ahead for you a little bit, I remove the tape, tape over the white paint, and then I paint again in the unpainted areas with the red. 2 coats. So just like the last project. because right here I'm going to skip ahead for you. Look how fast that went. Pull the tape off. There we go, and now I'm going to sand it. I start sanding it here a little bit. There's the back. I did go ahead and paint it all off, but then I went ahead and took it outside to my electric sander to get a lot more distressed. Again, I am using a stencil here that I made. This one says Sweet Liberty. And yes, this one as well will be included, free printable. I'll have both printables on my blog. You can find my blog link in the description down below. Again, you can use carbon paper to trace it on and then paint it with a paintbrush or like a paint pen or something like that. I'll be doing 2 coats here, and then once this is dry, I'll go ahead and remove the stencil, just like the last project. And then once I get the stencil all removed, yes, again, I'll be taking the 80 grit sandpaper on my sand block, and I will sand this and distress it. So like I said at the very, very beginning, 1 design, 3 signs. That way it can go kind of quickly, and you can, you know, we've got a few days left to make some more of these, and if not, you can make them anytime if you want to sell them at a craft show. Going in with my sandpaper to sand everything up, including the star. Get that just a nice little distress, not too much, but a little bit. That way it still keeps its texture from using the pouncy brush, but looks like the rest of the sign all nice and distressed. On the printable, I actually give you 2 different options. This Sweet Liberty is capitalized, and then I give you one of, again, it says Sweet Liberty, but it's all in small lowercase letters. So you have your choice. Gluing on the star, measuring it, gluing it on with the beacon Fabri-Tac. And then I'm coming in with the brown twine here that I got from Dollar Tree, but I end up later, you'll see in the final picture, I ended up changing it to the white twine. But you'll get to see here what it looks like with the brown twine. And again, wrap it around a few times and then tie a bow. And that makes this project complete. Let's move on to our last sign, sign number 3. So for this sign, I'm going to be using paint sticks. These are the long paint sticks. I have 13 of them. And I'm just taping 2 or 3 at a time together so it's easily better to cut. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting just right below the area where it kind of divots at the top on the paint stick using my miter box and saw. Just right below those indented areas. Of course, cutting all the paint sticks, and then once I get them all cut, I'm lining them up all nice and neat. Making sure everything's all nice and even, because I'm going to start to mark out where I want to paint the blue area where the stars go. And I'm marking out about 8 inches. And then once I get that all marked, and I'm doing this blue area on the first top 7 paint sticks. So you see me divide it there, and then I'm just taping it off, just so I have a nice clean blue line when I'm done, although it will all get distressed, so it doesn't matter anyway. I will paint the top 2 coats. And then because I'm using the paint sticks here, I'm also, when I put this together, I'm also going to add a little space in between each paint stick. So I'm going a little further with this. You could skip this step if you wanted to. Once you've painted the top all blue here, you could be done. But what I'm doing is taking them apart. Since I'm going to be adding space, I'm going to go ahead and paint the end and the sides of each paint stick with each color. That way, once they're separated, and if you kind of see down in between them, it looks all nice and finished off, because I will be selling this at a craft show. And I just want it to look complete. Again, you could skip this step if you don't want to place space in between all your paint sticks like I'm going to do on this one. I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, forgot to take 2 paint sticks and cut them for the backs to help keep all these paint sticks together. So I just measured 2 sticks about a ½ inch from top and bottom, so I probably cut about 1 inch off each one, and then put those aside. We'll deal with them later. So now what I'm doing is I'm just taping off the sticks where I painted blue, and then we're coming back to the paint sticks here. What I'm doing is, since I'm putting space in between my paint sticks, these might be seen through the back. So I'm just on one of these paint sticks. I marked it where it might be seen if it's sitting behind the blue section on the flag. The rest will get painted in white. So now what we're going to do is take our sticks and we're going to divide them up for 7 red and 7 white sticks. And we're going to start painting our stripes. So 2 coats for the red, 2 coats for the white, and again I will paint the sides and the ends of the sticks. And I hope this is not confusing how I'm saying it, so good thing there's a video. So basically 4 of these sticks that you painted blue, those will have red on it. And 3 of the sticks that you painted blue, those will have white. And in the rest of your long sticks, so here you have 4 with blue and red, and then 3 all red. And then the other one you'll have 3 with blue and white, and then 3 all white. Lost my train of thought for a minute. So here I'm coming in with the white ones. Same thing, painting the top, 2 coats, and the sides and the end. Just same kind of process as the other 2 signs, only this time we don't have to tape off our stripes, because the paint sticks already have our stripes measured out for us. Now I'm going ahead with the 2 that go on the back, and I'm just going ahead and painting those as well. So like I said, if it's seen through the front. Now the back side, you see the back side of all my paint sticks, I want to cover that up. So what I'm doing is just taping off like all my blue and red ones together, and then taping off my blue and white ones together so it's easier for painting. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll take it outside and spray paint the back in this ultra matte white spray paint. And then I will sand it as well with my electric sander once it's done. And so this is the final process. I just want my back all finished off, again selling it, so I want the back all painted to cover up all the wording on the paint sticks. Now I am just taping my sign together, because I'm going to need to flip it here in a little bit. So I'm just getting it all taped first, except for the blue area, because I'm going to be stenciling on that blue area. And what I've done is, on my Cricut design space, I have a Cricut Explore Air, I have created a circle of 13 stars for the colonies. If you don't have those, you could a stencil like that, or can't make a stencil like that, you can use 3 of those wooden stars from Walmart. That would look just as cute. But as you can see here, this is what I created for my stencil. But again, if you can't make a stencil, 3 of those wood stars or just 1 would look super cute. So I'm going in first, and I am just painting with blue, the same blue as on the paint sticks down below, just to help with any bleeding that might occur. Although again, with this Arteza transfer tape, bleeding is either very minimal or not at all. Once that dries, I'm going to be coming in with white so I can stencil in my white stars. I use a pounce brush when I stencil, and I usually will get the paint on my brush and then I'll scrape my brush along the side of my container or on the side of a paper plate or something like that, so it's nice and thin on the brush as I stencil, and I'll usually do 2 coats. And once it's all dry, then I'll just go ahead and pull this off. Again, you can use the wood stars if you don't have a stencil like this. It would look just as cute. I almost thought about doing that, but since I kind of did it on the last sign, I went ahead with the stencils on this one. And then once that's all dry, I'm going to sand it so to distress it, because I want it to look as distressed as the rest of the paint sticks. And then once that's all distressed and sanded, I'll go ahead and tape off the rest of that. Just kind of showing you how it looks here sanded. Kind of a hard look, but it's there. Hard look. It's hard to see, but it is there. Taping that off so I can turn this over and it will all stay together. I'm skipping ahead here. You will see my holes are already in my sticks here, and I had gotten everything pre-drilled and the screws screwed in, and I was like, shoot, I forgot the wood glue because it's not going to stick anywhere the screws aren't. So I had to take everything off. I'm coming back in. I sanded down the areas where the sticks would lay on here, the 2 sticks that we did for the back, and I'm adding wood glue on the back of these paint sticks and then on the back of the 2 that are cut for here. Show you that in just a minute, because the wood glue sticks better when it's not on a painted surface. So I kind of had to start backwards, and I edited this backwards so it would be in the right order. So you can see where I kind of painted or sanded on the areas there on the paint sticks, and I'm laying it down. You can see my holes already done, but I will show you doing it again because I wanted you to see the process. So I'm getting those glued down. Okay, and now we're back at the beginning, so pretend you never saw any of those screw holes, and please make it easier on yourself and remember to wood glue these down first. So I'm using 4 by 1/2 inch screws I got from Walmart. I'm just pre-drilling the holes first. And then once I've got those holes pre-drilled, I'll go in ahead and screw the screws in. And once the screws are in, this project is complete. I'll take all the tape off. I do that all off camera just to spare you, because you know how to take tape off. And that makes this project complete. So I hope you enjoyed this project. I think it is super cute. I hope you enjoyed all the projects. Let me know down below, which sign did you like best? Sign number 1, number 2, or number 3? I'm curious to know. Again, I will have those free printables down below for you. Just go ahead to my blog and that's where you will find them. Please give this video a thumbs up. Come follow me on social media, on Instagram, on my blog, on Pinterest. Remember to subscribe to my channel. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.